Hey basketball guys, we have news. Let's go to more news from the Golden State Warriors, but before that, don't forget to subscribe to the channel and leave your like. Any rumor could turn into a possible negotiation. And there are strong comments that star Giannis Antetokounmpo is dissatisfied with the Bucks and at any time he could ask for a trade and be traded, or wait until the end of the season and leave. And one of the favorites to win Giannis Antetokounmpo is the Warriors, who are very bad this season, and certainly Giannis Antetokounmpo brings energy, strength, explosion, scoring, a different and complete player. If Giannis Antetokounmpo asks for a trade, the Warriors have a great chance of signing him. The Golden State Warriors have been prodded to capitalize on any playoff failure that the Milwaukee Bucks may soon encounter and trade for their superstar forward. ESPN's Kendrick Perkins was a guest on the Road Trippin' podcast on Wednesday. There, Perkins rationalized how Bucks former two-time MVP Giannis Antetokounmpo could finalize his desire to depart from Milwaukee if they don't make the finals, and how that could be gold for a Warriors team looking for another marquee talent, hat-tipped the Sporting News' Jonah Kubicek. If Milwaukee doesn't make it to the conference finals, it's a failed season, right? Asked Kendrick Perkins on Wednesday's episode of the Road Trippin' podcast. If you're Giannis, why would you have hope or even some type of belief that you could get back to where you need to be with this organization? That's the only guy that I could see come available that could actually move the needle with the Golden State Warriors that would pair alongside Stephen Curry. Antetokounmpo expressed discontent with the Bucks early in the season. They began the campaign at 2-8 and did not return to .500 until November 26. Nevertheless, after they won the 2024 NBA Cup, things began looking up for the current number 4 seed in the Eastern Conference, who is now 26-19. Nevertheless, the Greek Freak is serious about winning championships at all costs. Thus, if the Bucks fail to win again in 2025 with talent in All-Star Damian Lillard and Chris Middleton around him, there's no telling if he'll put his foot down to force his way out of Milwaukee. Warriors would form another super team with Giannis. Thus, the Warriors, 24-23, who have struggled immensely in 2024-25, could wait until the time is ripe to send a lucrative offer to the Bucks. That would allow them to place Antetokounmpo next to their own two-time league MVP in Stephen Curry and form another juggernaut to elongate their dynasty. Golden State has had reservations about trading for Miami Heat star forward Jimmy Butler and is eyeing Chicago Bulls former All-Stars Zach LaVine and Nikola Vucevic. Nonetheless, a chance at Antetokounmpo would take precedence over any opportunities they have available to them now. Warriors Steve Kerr on trade deadline, we don't have enough to separate ourselves. With 3 games remaining before Thursday's NBA trade deadline, the Golden State Warriors realize reinforcements are needed for a legitimate playoff run against the top teams in the Western Conference. On one hand, head coach Steve Kerr said he speaks daily with general manager Mike Dunleavy about the roster makeup and any trade discussions. On the other hand, Kerr said the Warriors, as is, still have the talent to compete for the playoffs. We do. I think we've shown that, Kerr said before Friday night's game against Phoenix. But we've also shown that we don't have enough to separate ourselves from the rest of the West. The point is, we're not in a position where we can just say, no, we're good, let's stand pat. That's the reality of where we are. The Warriors play Monday against Orlando and Wednesday in Utah in advance of the deadline. Among the stars who could be moved are Chicago's Nikola Vucevic and Zach LaVine, Brooklyn's Cam Johnson and Miami's Jimmy Butler. More for you Warriors. Kevin Looney enjoyed big game despite suffering nasal fracture. Golden State Warriors center Kevin Looney will wear a mask Friday against Phoenix after. How Warriors' recent midseason trades fared, from Andrew Wiggins to James Wiseman. The Golden State Warriors haven't made a midseason trade of significant consequence. If there's something that makes sense, he's going to do it, Kerr said of Dunleavy. If not, then I'm very comfortable going forward with this team because I know what we're capable of, and I know the guys. Hopefully we can capture a little more momentum here. The Warriors carried a 24-23 record into Friday night's game against the Suns and were coming off a stunning win over Oklahoma City, the conference's winningest team. Forward Draymond Green, calf injury, is expected to return next week. Forward Jonathan Kuminga, ankle injury, after the trade deadline. Asked whether the win over the Thunder could provide momentum in trade talks, Kerr said, "I don't think you look at 1 or 2 games and determine everything based on that. It's always body of work." A key talking point for management is taking advantage of point guard Stephen Curry's window. The 36-year-old has 2 years remaining on his contract. "We're in the business of winning, and we're a .500 team," Kerr said, "so none of us can sit here and say this is good enough, and that means we're all vulnerable." Warriors head coach urges front office to execute deal that makes sense ahead of deadline. The Los Angeles Lakers trading superstar power forward Anthony Davis to the Dallas Mavericks in exchange for perennial MVP candidate Luka Doncic sent ripples throughout the NBA that may have a major impact on the Golden State Warriors. Both the Lakers, 28-19, and Mavericks, 26-23, are hovering in playoff contention at the moment. With 4 days left to make trades, the Warriors, 24-24, may need to pull off a deal to climb out of their hole and keep up with their Western Conference competitors. Per CBS Sports' Brad Botkin, Warriors head coach Steve Kerr recently had this to say about his confidence in Golden State's current roster and what management could do to potentially make things better. "We do. I think we've shown that," Kerr said. "But we've also shown that we don't have enough to separate ourselves from the rest of the West. So I think the point is we're not in a position where we can just say, 'Nah, we're good, let's stand pat.' That's the reality of where we are." Warriors general manager, Mike Dunleavy, is doing his due diligence, he's doing his job. If there's something that makes sense, he's going to do it. If not, then I'm very comfortable going forward with this team because I know what we're capable of and I believe in the guys. Warriors have several trade options in front of them. Kerr's optimism in his guys has merit. He still has 2-time NBA MVP Stephen Curry leading his charge. Around Curry is former 2022 All-Star Andrew Wiggins and former 2017 Defensive Player of the Year Draymond Green. Yet, the Warriors need another elite scorer, as rising star Jonathan Kuminga is not quite there yet despite his strong play. Zach LaVine and Nikola Vucevic. They also have a shot at Miami Heat star Jimmy Butler and could enter the mix for other marquee talents out there like Brandon Ingram, New Orleans Pelicans, and Bradley Beal, Phoenix Suns. Ultimately, the Warriors are firm in their stance on not wanting to give up draft stock for a short-term improvement. Thus, expect the Dubs to make a move if it's for a top-shelf talent they can keep around for the long haul. Lakers' huge trade renews possibility of Warriors landing LeBron James. Did the Luka AD trade open up a path for LeBron James to join the Warriors? Oh my God. The league has officially been turned on its head. The blockbuster Luka Doncic and Anthony Davis trade has completely changed the Western Conference outlook for this season and the future. With Doncic still injured and the Lakers looking much better suited for the future than this season, there could be more moves for the Lakers to make before the NBA trade deadline. One option is that the shakeup in Los Angeles could open the door for the Warriors to try and trade for LeBron James as they attempted at the same point last season. This blockbuster trade has renewed discussion around a LeBron James move to the Warriors. Reports suggest that LeBron was not involved in the Luka AD trade talks before they took place. This fact alone opens up a world of possibilities. Could LeBron be frustrated with his organization by being blindsided? Are the Lakers less interested in building around 40-year-old LeBron and looking more toward the future? The Mavericks-Lakers trade shows us that anything is possible. While the Lakers did acquire a franchise superstar for the foreseeable future, they also gave up a superstar in his own right and their defensive anchor. This creates a need for them to add some defense and increase their athleticism. Could a Warriors-LeBron trade solve some of those issues? Warriors have tried to make a LeBron trade before. Last season, the Warriors quietly attempted to trade for LeBron. Although the trade didn't end up happening, the Warriors' intention of pairing Stephen Curry with his longtime rival shocked many. Curry and LeBron have become much less adversarial over the last few years. We saw them dominate together in the Olympics, while LeBron has also said that playing with Curry would be a dream. Could it finally be the time to get this duo together on an NBA floor? It was previously assumed that any chance of the Lakers trading LeBron would come by his request. Now that doesn't seem as obvious. This means that the Lakers could look to get younger and add defense to build a team around Luka. The Warriors have multiple players that could fit the bill. Draymond Green is the first that comes to mind. Although only slightly younger than LeBron, he brings elite defense and a similar playmaking skill set at the forward position. One would think if the Warriors want James, it would be to pair with Green, as the two have become close over recent years. Andrew Wiggins would be an even more enticing option for the Lakers to seek. Wiggins locked up Luka in the playoffs just a few years ago, and bringing youth, athleticism and his perimeter defense to the Lakers could be a much better fit than LeBron going forward. The Lakers probably want to see what things look like with LeBron and Luka. However, there is no doubt that this huge move opens up all sorts of possibilities for more league-changing trades. Could a Warriors-LeBron trade be the next big shocker?